I am going to try to explain. I'm not sure I can. I'm not used to explaining things to you. Maybe because usually we understand each other so well. I picture us like two roses on the same stem, us against the world, surrounded by thorns ready to prick anyone else who dares to come close. But I've realized, with some things, we will always have a different perspective, because we're standing in different places. You see family so differently than I do, because you come from a luckier, happier world. Sometimes I'm drowning in jealousy, the way you take your family for granted. I love you, passionately, consumingly. Loving you, some days, has been the only thing keeping me going. But romantic love is only one love, and not the most important. I can see you shaking your head here, but stop. Even if you disagree, understand I believe this. I prize other kinds of love as highly as being in love. You are not a knight, and I am not your lady in the age of chivalry, and we are not the pinnacle of what matters. I love you, and I want you, but what I want and what is right are not always the same. You haven't always had to think about the difference before. You know you haven't. But please do now. I'm making the right choice. I love you, but I am not going to change my mind. Growing up, my mom liked to play a strange version of Would You Rather. It happened when she picked me up from a friend's house, from Nico's, whose mom baked mochi cake, or Haley's, whose mom knit scarves. Would you rather have Nico's mother? Mom would ask. Or me? Would you rather have Haley's mom or me? Even during the worst fights between us, I knew better than to cross this line. Fights between mothers and daughters transcended almost to an art form. I knew how each thrust and parry would land, and how to aim shots low or high. But even when casting words meant to draw blood, I'd never take this shot. This was the soft spot behind the skull, water to the wicked witch, Achilles' unprotected heel. You only struck this spot if you struck to kill. You, I always told her, as we walked away from Nico's manicured lawn or left Haley's porch with its bunting flag in red, white, and blue. I'd rather have you. The doorbell rang in the middle of a storm. The rain pounded against the eaves, nearly drowning the chimes out. Sheets of water streamed across the living room's French doors, distorting the yard and forest into shifting blurs of green and brown. March in New England might officially be springtime, but in reality, it was chilly and wet and dark. I sat curled on the sofa, reading Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. The combination of Gothic novel and weather had me on edge, despite the room's bright lights and my steaming mug of peppermint tea. Mom and Dad wouldn't be home for hours. They'd gone to a town hall meeting, which basically counted as a date night in their world. My brother Dave was sleeping over at his best friend's house. Mom had worried about leaving me home alone, but I'd shooed her and Dad away. My parents deserved a night out. Besides, I liked having the house to myself. Most of the time. The chime sounded again while I stayed frozen on the couch, book clutched in both hands, heart racing. No one had ever accused me of being sensible. You have a tad of an overactive imagination, Dad often said, holding his thumb and forefinger a hair's breadth apart. But honestly, Who wouldn't at least consider whether a doorbell during a storm heralded a serial killer? Best not be a sitting duck for my prospective murderer. I padded through the house toward the front door, positioning my back against the wall as I craned my neck to peer out a window. A USPS truck lingered in the driveway, headlights cutting through the rain, and a figure dashed toward the cab and leaped inside. The truck backed away and sped into the dark. Oh, cool,